Well, I didn't like school. They didn't have the right class. They should have had a class from Walter Blunk, because I always watched what he was doing because they lived right over from the school. And so I'd look out the window. If they'd had a class on that, I could have got 100.
We enjoyed going to school, so it wasn't like we played sick or, Back then, we loved our teacher. We loved going to school.
It was a lot of fun. Probably didn't think so at that time, but when I look back, it was. I remember the first day very well. We went at noon, ate our lunch, and I started walking home. We lived just a quarter mile south of the school, the first place on the right. And teacher walked out after me and wanted to know what I was doing. I told her I was going home. We didn't do nothing in school. I was going home to help Dad. But I went back to school. Didn't miss too many after that.
It was very important. I can remember on snowy days when it was really deep. My dad he was 6'6", and he would carry my sister, and I'd follow in his footsteps to get us to school. So yes, he took us no matter what the weather was. We went to school.
I never missed any classes or anything on account of farm work. We had to be there for chores and that kind of stuff.
You ever shell corn by hand? Every morning I had to shell out a half a pail of corn. Wintertime we had to carry the coal bucket. It was a regular coal bucket like you see people use by the fireplace with a little shovel in it. I had to pump a pail of water. We didn't have running water in the house. We had an outdoor pump, and I had to fill that bucket.
When we got home from school, we got busy. We all had our own chores. Once in a while, if you screwed up on something, you got a little extra chores to do. And my dad he was the boss, and we all knew it.
My job was pretty much a little bit of everything. I had to see that the hens were watered first in the morning, and then I helped with the calf chores and feeding the cows, and just about every aspect of chores there was. I and my brothers got in on it. We did the chores before we went to school.
My chores was feeding livestock, cleaning pens, feeding, grinding feed, done a lot of baling hay, baling straw and stuff. And my sisters did the cleaning of the milkers and at that time milk cans. I did the feeding, threw down hay and stuff like that out of the hay mow.
Gather eggs, hold the garden, pick the peas and the beans, and watched my mom kill the chickens, and I'd help her pick them, pick the feathers off, take care of my dog and my cat, and my dad did all the other chores. But, cleaning the house, had to make my bed every morning. My mom was a German, and it had to be just so.
We had chickens. We had ducks. We would, with the chickens, two things. We had a laying house, which I obviously did not like because it was my job as youngsters. As your brothers moved up the totem pole, you got the jobs they didn't want. So as the youngest, I ended up cleaning out chicken house more than anyway, I felt I did more than anybody else. I'm sure they felt differently.
Helped them trim trees in the orchard, helped them mow a lot of grass, cut wood, and I got in on some butchering. He used to butcher beef and a hog a year.
We were expected to help outside in the garden. My mom had chickens, and I had to set the milking machines together or put them together for my dad to milk the cows at night. And that was my job, and it was for many, many years.
The farm work came first, and then school came. You didn't miss school. You went to school every day, but when you'd get home, you'd hurry and change your clothes so you could keep your school clothes clean. And you never wore a pair of overalls to school with a patch on it, because you didn't want to say you were that poor that you had to have a patched overalls. So when you'd start school in the fall, you'd get 2 new pair of overalls, and when you'd get home from school, you'd change and keep them clean.
We all had a life at Forest Grove in a one-room schoolhouse, and got our start in the dairy industry and farming, general farming, and advanced in our different fields from there.